Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing what is quite possibly the cleanest VB WRX on the planet. Before we get in this video though, as always, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Now, I don't know if he needs any introduction because John has been on the channel a bunch of times with his Subarus. He kind of has a Subaru addiction, but this is your new VB WRX that I mean, how long ago did you buy this thing?
Bought it in February. Yeah,
you literally are the meme where it's like, I'm going to keep this car stock, and now here we are a few months later, and it is definitely far from stock. So what have you done to it so far?
Yeah, so it is on Sinus Performance coilovers.
And look at that wheel tuck.
Yeah, it's got great fitment. Huge shout out to Jeff. They are the X1 long travel set with 8K spring rates front and rear, and everything else on the car, every aero piece is from the Aeroflow Dynamics catalog. Also, shout out to them. The only reason I got the car is because of them, is because they are doing great work with this.
Yeah, let me show some of this. Like, by the way, this car basically scrapes on shadows with how low it is and with all the aero. It looks really cool though when you put it all together.
Absolutely.
Here's like that kind of front view, and then also is it like a brace bar?
Yeah, so it's again Aeroflow Dynamics grille and brace bar, and then I actually painted the behind piece because you can see more white.
Yeah,
so now it just makes the bar pop out so you can't see that.
I really do like the grille a lot because not having the Subaru logo, I don't know, I don't have anything against Subaru logo, but I think it helps. And then you guys can see here on the side as well, and I'll give you guys a full side view in a second. And then it looks like it continues into the back. And then this does have an aftermarket exhaust, which we'll hear a little bit later. Which one is it?
Yes, so
this is about this.
This is actually kind of funny. I had a ETS exhaust from my 2020 STI sitting in the garage, and I took it to my friend, and I had him weld an axle back out of it. So it's a catback turned into an axle back.
So this is like a one-of-one exhaust for this car. So I think you guys will like that. And then, is this from, I can't remember, is this from the factory, or did you add this?
No, this is also Aeroflow Dynamics. I mean, I love their stuff, dude.
Yeah, so you got that, which looks really cool. And yeah, here's kind of like that full side view. I mean, I love the stance on this, honestly. Like when he pulled up, I was like, I kind of want a WRX now. Because, I mean, I don't know if I could live with how aggressive the aero is, but I mean, you can't deny this thing looks super, super sweet. And we can't forget, we got our vortex generator. And is that like a cloud in a mountain? Yeah.
That is actually my buddy's shop, On's Custom and Vinyl. Another shout out, dude. This video is full of them.
Shout-outs.
Everything, suspension, wheels, tires, go to them. If you're local in Utah, they are the best. Alignment, I got camber. We need to not have tires every 2 months, so they're the place to go to make everything last very long time and run perfectly and drive straight. And
are you ever going to get those body painted, or have you decided that you just like it?
I like it. I want to sand it down and paint it gloss black, and then I do want to do the rear bumper though. The painting on the line over here on the rear bumper, white. But I ended up liking the I guess the cladding, the plastic cladding on the sides and the little fenders. Not bad, but the bumper is it's pretty ugly. I'm not gonna lie. Like, let's be honest here. We got to be honest. But I mean, there's solutions. It's not a big deal.
So I guess we'll get an exhaust clip and then we'll take it out and see how this thing drives. Okay, we got one more thing to show with the walk around here.
Yeah.
Top hats.
The Sinus Performance top hats. Yeah. Their custom suspension is really good. You guys all see those coilover clips of people driving like this. This doesn't drive like that. This drives so smooth, so more comfortable than the STI on bags. That's where I'm leaving that at.
We'll see about that.
All right, you be the judge. I don't even have to worry about it because I know it's better.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, we are starting off in the WRX. We are on everyone's favorite road. This is a performance driving road. Now going in, we're gonna be going kind of slow because I can't remember if I've been down this road since last winter, and so I need to kind of scan and see where all the potholes are because this car is very low to the ground. We don't want to blow anything up by going through a huge pothole. But we can at least talk about the suspension at lower speeds. That was actually too high of a gear. At lower speeds here. So I'm actually pretty impressed with this suspension setup. Usually lowered cars drive horribly. Like they're super rough, super bouncy. You know, there is, you know, some bounce to this on this. Again, this road's super bumpy. That was the tire.
Yep, yeah, we rub a little bit.
the tire rubs a little bit, so there is that part of it. But I mean, this is way more comfortable than I expected. And what John was telling me, and there's the tire again. What John was telling me is that you can actually raise this. This is adjustable coilovers. So we could raise it to a higher height, which means we wouldn't get the rubbing as much, I assume, right?
Yeah, no,
and then that would give us more travel, which could help out with the, you know, kind of slight bounciness that this has. But yeah, I mean, on this road that's usually pretty difficult, this thing rides really well. Now, also, what this is kind of showing me with the new WRX. Oh, I feel bad.
Don't feel bad. It's a car for driving, not for sitting in a showroom. Drive it.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, as I was saying, the handling's really good, but the one thing that's kind of interesting is the steering. I don't feel a whole lot of like what's happening with the front end, which I find kind of. And did you notice that? It's kind of numb.
Yeah, I prefer the STI steering if we're comparing like. Steering.
Okay, yeah. So the STI. That's kind of what I was thinking. I'm gonna have like trauma from that bump.
Dude.
Okay, let's miss that one. There.
Imagine me, dude. I daily this thing. And it's not a problem.
It sounds so good though. I love the sound. But now all I can think about is how I went over a bump and just. We're gonna go, I guess, carefully quick, but not too quick because I don't want to end up like clapping the front end again. Super. I wasn't even going that fast. That's the part that's so traumatic about that experience. I will say rev match downshifting this car is super good. John was saying it's not as good as the STI, but I still think it's really good. So I will say if you're on a road like this, I would probably have the suspension raised a little bit.
Of course, but it's kind of bumpy.
Well, I'm trying to like test out the suspension.
Hey, I mean.
So obviously for like daily driver roads it's fine, but like for a bumpier thing like this, yeah, you'd want to have it in the higher height. But I mean, it's still handling it really well, despite the fact that we're, you know, rubbing here and there, and then I clapped the front end. It's like the damping's really good with this. I'm super impressed with that part of it. And the thing I love about flat 4 cylinders, okay, that's the okay.
Oh, look at you.
I'm watching for the clap bumps is what I'll call them. But yeah, the flat 4 cylinder is very happy to be at like high revs. I still don't feel like it's as happy as the STI engine to be at high revs though. I feel like the STI engine was more apt. Yeah, man, it's just like rub central.
Should have heard it when I was going to Wyoming. Oh my god.
Skirt, yeah. But I mean, I'm super impressed with the damping. So we're gonna get on a more normal road up here in a little bit, and then I'll kind of talk about I guess the higher speed driving. But there's how it handles on a bumpier road. Okay, so this is gonna be our higher speed road to kind of see how the suspension performs at higher speeds, and I guess to get an acceleration with the VB.
TC light.
Yeah, that was fun. I like the sounds this makes. It's fun. And again, that's just just an aftermarket. Is there anything under the hood that you've added? Air intake or anything?
Nothing.
Yeah, I get some turbo noises here and there, but I can imagine if you added like an aftermarket air intake, that would help out. Also, I forgot to mention the STI that's just chilling there. That's funny. But yeah, I mean, it's so blippable. And this kind of has an old school turbo feel where it, you know, you build it into the boost and everything. But yeah, I mean, at these slightly, I mean, it's not the highest speed ever. This thing's smooth. So like, I can imagine on highway driving, on day-to-day driving, like outside of that bumpy road that like really tests the suspension, this would actually perform really well. So I liked what John said earlier, and I'll kind of pull that into my thoughts. Is he said that this drives like a sports car. It doesn't drive like, what you said, a cambered?
A stance car.
Stance car, right? Stance cars drive horribly, typically. This looks like a stance car, doesn't drive like one. And I think that's a good assessment. It does drive like a very well dampened sports car. Like the hand, and I want to see around the corner here. I know this isn't like the best test on the planet, but I still kind of want to see how it. I mean, yeah, it feels. This thing feels. Yeah, this thing feels sharp. I'm super impressed. So I guess if I were to do something like this, I would probably have it a little bit higher, so I'm not like rubbing. I know it wouldn't look as cool, and I probably wouldn't do it as crazy with the ground effects, even though they look cool. Again, just for practicality. But overall, this is like probably the best coil suspension setup I've ever seen or ever driven on a car like this. So
shout out to Jeff. Shout out to Jeff.
Shout out to Jeff. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this. But this also kind of makes me want a WRX because like this setup is comfortable enough and fun enough that like I don't know, it makes it seem worth it. And for the price you can get a WRX plus all of this stuff.
And then just pay attention to the train tracks. Butter.
Yeah. That's crazy. It's so smooth. But let me know what you guys think.